check it out. Let me check it out. What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Brew, man. Fortunato Fashion Collective.
Yeah. Yeah.
We about to start this YouTube up right, man. Get it started straight from the roots. And got my notes, I got my water, I got my lights, I got my shoes, I got my setup. Man, I'm trying to get back into this shit, man. So I'm gonna give y'all everything. How I got my brand started. Some tips for y'all, the do's and the don'ts, my mistakes. I'm the inspo behind my brand. I'm gonna do everything I can to get y'all folks, you know what I'm saying, on the best foot possible when you're starting your brands.
I can see what they're doing, what he's doing. I can see it, I feel it. He's cooking.
I'm still putting that work in every day, you know what I'm saying, you gotta be doing something. But without further ado, let's get into it. First things first, how did I even think about starting a brand? How did I even think about it? Man, I was strolling through the mall, you know what I'm saying? A little thought bubble type shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm with the homies. I'm thinking about my brand. I'm thinking about other brands. I'm thinking about clothes. You know what I'm saying? You see me, I'm a big boy. All the tough brands, the toughest clothes that I was trying to buy, they didn't have my size. So I'm like, man, I gotta do something. I feel like even the people in my town not making clothes, you know what I'm saying, that could fit me or that even fit my style. It's almost as if it was like, it was meant for me to make my own, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking like, so all I needed the execution. So I'm like, man, I definitely could make better clothes than people around me, or at least I can make clothes that I like and I could wear with pride, you know what I'm saying? So I got to the drawing board. My friends always been hyping me out, yo bro, you know you can make these clothes, you could do everything, you created, man, you got the mind for it, you got the, you know what I'm saying? But I never thought like it could be me. When it's you that you think could pop off or you could do something, you kind of just in your mind, self-doubting. Don't doubt yourself, you know what I'm saying? Don't do that. Me and my friend, we had a little slogan. We had a little couple slogans and whatever. Throw it on some t-shirt and voila, the journey begins. Start with a t-shirt. Literally, it start with a t-shirt. Oh, I want to get into my first drop, but I'm not gonna lie to you, it don't even go from an idea to the first drop. Well, I guess it depends on your journey. Let me speak on my journey. I had started an idea, you know what I'm saying, one brand name. I took it as far as I could take that, and then, you know, it felt like it withered out. During the pandemic, my brother gave me some inspiration to want to start my brand back up. A lot of folks having some extra money, a lot of folks doing what they do. I'm trying to do what I do. And I started making t-shirts for myself again. I started making a sweatshirt for myself. And then I get a friend of mine, one of my closest homies, my brother, and we start, you know, taking pre-orders on sweatsuits. We take pre-orders on this, you know what I'm saying? And we was doing pretty good. And eventually things withered out again. And then all of a sudden, once more, you get that inspiration again. All this stuff is done went on. My brother called my phone. He said, "Listen, bro, I want to make clothes too. You making clothes? Let's do it together. I just got my LLC, man. For your birthday, I'm gonna buy you your LLC." You know, so in my head, I'm thinking, shit. If he gonna buy the LLC, I gotta go hard. You feel me? I gotta do it. You know what I'm saying? We do the paperwork, we sign it up, get the business. You know what I'm saying? This when I started learning everything I could learn. I get all my business stuff together, you know what I'm saying? My business bank account. I get, what else? I started learning about fabrics. I started learning about the best blanks, the best hoodies, t-shirts, socks, tape measures. I'm buying cutting boards. I ain't never buy none of this stuff before. I'm learning about everything I could possibly learn about clothes, designing. So now I got an iPad, old iPad I started doing work on. I got a laptop, I got Photoshop, I got Procreate, I got all these things to help myself. And that's a big part of how I started making so many designs. Before Fortunato, I had a brand called LOH, and that was the brand that I previously mentioned that, you know, kind of withered out, you know what I mean? and, you know, progressed it into Fortunato Fashion Collective, which is now what we running today. See, you know, see the shirt, whatever the case may be. You know, by this time, I get a couple of friends. We do, you know, I get a person that's good with numbers, social media. I get a person that's, you know, I'm the creative. I'm pretty much the all-around Swiss Army knife for my brand. I get a couple of friends to help me, and we come up with a 3-pack of hoodies. My first drop was a 3-pack of hoodies. We call it the tawny, which is gonna be like a sand color with the logo, you know, brown stitch. Got a forest green. Went so crazy back in the day, man. We had like a yellow, like a nice light yellow with the purple off. You know what I'm saying? It went crazy. Like once we did that, I was so proud. Like we were so hands-on with it. You know what I mean? We were so hands-on. We did all the research on the hoodies. We found, you know, we bought a couple samples. We got a few done. Like we looked up the techniques, you know, because we ended up going embroidery. A lot of people wasn't even doing embroidery. It was still on the vinyl back then. Because I started back in 2022. Excuse me, end of 2021. So October 2021. That was when I started. October 8th, 2021, to be exact, is the day that I formed my LLC. So yeah, we was hands-on. We was in there in the shop with the people, you know, working on these garments. We bought 120 hoodies. So we had a tough product. We had put in all this work behind the scenes, but our marketing machine was non-existent. Mistakes. This is the mistakes column. You know what I'm saying? The first mistake we made was we invested so much into the product, so much time. You know, I had a small office space at the time. We were doing really well. We started accumulating expenses before we were bringing in money, and we just thought that was just the cost of doing business. We had an office space. We had all these supplies. I had a heat press. I had embroidery machines. We had all these things, but we didn't have any real idea on how business was ran at that time. Like, so we just thought, oh, if you got a good product, people gonna want to buy it, and that's so far from the truth. You have to give people a reason. You have to touch their hearts. You have to, you know, sway them emotionally. You have to market. You have to find your target audience. And I was always a guy that was no good on social media whatsoever. Like, I hated social media. I was shy. Like, I'm still working on my social media, you know, stuff today. But that being said, that was our first stop. So once we had bought all those hoodies, and we didn't barely make any sales because we didn't have any marketing. We didn't have anything pushing us, you know? So nobody really knew that we were selling hoodies. Nobody really knew about our brand. We were growing slowly, you know, a couple of hundred people on Facebook, a couple of hundred people on Instagram, a couple of hundred people here and there, you know what I'm saying? But you know, those aren't all customers. A couple of more mistakes and things that you guys can avoid is, you know, nowadays people are getting samples and then you market the sample, then you know, a lot of people run the pre-order method. That's fair. I don't like doing it that way because I like hand to hand. I like my stuff. That's how I want to shop. I want people to, you know what I'm saying, give me my product. But, you know, people do what works for you. But at the end of the day, you have to market. You know, nowadays, like we had TikTok and things of that nature back then, but there's so much more information now than there was then. Like, that's kind of why I'm doing this video, because I want to add my little piece to, you know, my little existence in this clothing brand space, to give whoever might be watching me or whoever might look to me a piece of my knowledge so they can avoid a few things. That's the part that I always love the most, is creating all the numbers and all everything, the technicalities behind it. You know, those were never my specialty. I was more so the creative behind everything. And number one, marketing. Number two, don't bite off more than you can chew. You know what I'm saying? If you want to start off with a drop, start off with a decent number, you know what I mean? And we went the blank route. If you want to start off by going, you know, the overseas route, you know what I'm saying, find you somebody that could do a low MOQ, low minimum order quantity. I prefer the blank route if you're going to be starting off early, you know what I mean? Get you a nice 10 to 20 shirts, something simple and go crazy, you know, get your brand out there. If I could do it all over again, I wouldn't have gotten my LLC up front like I did this time. I would have, you know, waited until I built some rapport, started getting in some money, just to know that I can make money. Because once you get your LLC, you gotta pay taxes, and you're liable for a lot of things. You know, there's requirements to keep your LLC. Secondly, I wouldn't have gotten 120 hoodies. That was almost like 2 bands that I didn't have at that time. We kind of got lucky, you know, and being able to swing that. Like, it took me almost 2 years, like almost a year. Actually, I said almost 2 years, almost a year, probably a little over a year to get rid of all those hoodies. And I gave a lot of them away. Like, we ended up selling about 70 overall, but I gave a lot of hoodies away, you know what I mean? So just to kind of not lose, I would send them out to influencers, I would whatever. But at the end of the day, it was a super loss as my first drop. And that was a super big learning experience for me and, you know, the people that I was working with at the time. Another thing that I would do differently is probably, like I said, I would have started with a t-shirt or even a more simpler hoodie, maybe a screen printed hoodie, because those are probably the cheapest. I need my brand to prevail. If you want your brand to prevail, that's the way, you know what I mean? Now, social media is pretty much everything, to be honest. So, that's just something that if you're a hermit, if you're a person who doesn't like to talk to a camera or, you know, interact with folks on a regular basis, it's kind of counteractive to what you're trying to do as a brand owner. Because a lot of things are about who you know. I want to show y'all my start piece, boom, my starting piece, over to, you know, my most recent piece over here. Just to show you, like I said, the beginning to the most current, my journey. I want y'all to be a part of what I got going on. If y'all even knew what the brand, like what was the inspiration behind my brand, like I told y'all how I got into it, but the real inspiration behind the name Fortunato is just kind of, our slogan is not create.
I promise, like, and even it's been a weird these past few months, and knowing
I'm tripping. A wise man creates his own fortune. So pretty much, you take everything that comes with life. You take the good, the bad, the ugly. You spin it however, and tailor it to yourself. You channel all those negatives, and you take what life has given you, and you do what you're supposed to do, and turn yourself up. You know what I mean? You create your own fortune. You can create the life you always wanted, bro. And I fully, wholeheartedly believe that. I'm from Syracuse, New York. I came all the way down to Houston, Texas. I live in Houston, Texas right now. And this is what I came here for, to expand my business in a larger market, a larger city. And I hope that everybody that ever watched me or ever see anything that I got going on, and anybody who ever supported me, whoever don't support me, everyone, man, do what you're supposed to do, man. Life is too short to not do what you love. I love creating clothes, but I love creating. So at the end of the day, do what you love. So now I'm gonna conclude this first video. I hope that you liked it and got something from it. I hope that you even sat through it to hear some of the knowledge, you know what I mean? If you was thinking about starting a brand, I hope I could help you. Drop some comments so I can answer some questions. You know what I'm saying? Get back with me, Brew from Fortunato Fashion Collective. You're gonna see many more videos, many more clips. You know what I'm saying? Follow us everywhere. It's gonna be down in the down below. If you know, you know.